All right, so in this lesson, we're going to go over the first category of blending modes, which includes normal and dissolve. So as you learned in the previous lesson, you're basically blending one layer with another layer below it. And depending on that blending mode, it's going to affect it differently. Now, I do want to mention real quick, if you take a close look at your blending mode menu right here, we can see there's a little gray line right here, another one here, and then there's a couple more as well. These are basically visual cues to let you know the different groupings or the different categories. So we have normal and dissolve, and then below that gray line we have additional blending modes, which are part of the darken category, and then we have another gray line separating that one. So that's just an easy visual cue to know which blending mode category that you're going to be working in. Now, when you first create a new layer, the normal blending mode is the default blending mode. So you can think of the normal blending mode like paint. If you apply paint to something, it covers it up. So even though I have this image layer turned on, we can't see it because the paint from this layer is on top of it and therefore hiding everything below it. So that's basically how we would expect paint to work in the real world. If you're applying paint to your office wall, you're not going to see the drywall because the paint is covering it up completely with 100% of that color. But you can change the opacity of your layers to reveal additional paint or pixels below that particular layer, any layers that are below it and turned on. If I turn this off, then we're not going to see the image either. Okay, so blending modes, when set to the normal blending mode, are applying 100% of that layer's paint or pixels and hiding anything else beneath it. All right, now let's take a look at the dissolve blending mode. Let's go ahead and turn that on. And again, you can see nothing is happening to the pixels of this layer. And that's because we're applying 100% opacity. So in this case, in order to see how the dissolve blending mode works, we need to change the opacity of this layer. And when we do, you're going to see a dissolve effect start to appear on the image layer below it. So some of the blending modes are going to require adjusting the opacity of that layer in order to see the effect that's being applied to it, or to either enhance that effect by making it less dramatic, if you will, by lowering the intensity of that particular blending mode, because some of the blending modes are not going to work 100% of the time at 100%. You're going to have to make adjustments to it in order to help it either be seen visually or to tone it down. Okay, so those are the first two blending modes. In the next lesson, we're going to take a look at the darken category, and I'll show you how these blending modes are used and applied and the type of effects you can expect to get from them. So if you're ready to get started on that, let's do it.